What is going on? Welcome to another video. I'm super excited about this video because we're gonna get into relationships, male-female behavior, most common mistakes men and women make in relationships. So I love this topic. I love learning about this topic, so I'm pumped. But before we get into the video, have you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, I'll give you a few seconds to do that. It is the red button down below. Yes, that button right there. Now that you've done that, let's get into the video. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard or seen this book cover before. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Today I thought I'd bring it back to the beginning and talk about something that's super fundamental, I find, and something I obviously didn't know until I read this book, which is chapter 2. Chapter 1 is just a bit of an overview, but chapter 2 is called Mr. Fix-It and the Home Improvement Committee. So I'm gonna read a couple excerpts and talk about a couple important kind of quotes that Dr. John Gray talks about in this book. So let's get started. One of the first kind of highlighted quotes that they underline in this book is, "A man's sense of self is defined through his ability to achieve results." That means that men really like to fix things, to get results, to get things done, and they feel a great sense of self when they do it. Women don't have the same need to fix things as men do. So where women and men bump heads is, as probably many of you know, women like to talk about their issues more than they like to find a solution right away. Yes, the ultimate goal will be to fix a problem, but they would rather talk about it first, talk about it to their mom, to their friends, to their partner. And if a man feels a great sense of self by solving problems, aka Mr. Fix-It, it's going to be very hard for him to listen to the ongoing list of problems or what happened that day to his partner without trying to offer solutions. And where, again, women and men bump heads is women just want to be heard and feel connection to their partner about what they're going through, but men just want to solve the issue. So women aren't feeling heard, therefore disconnected, and men aren't feeling a great sense of self in that moment because they're not solving the problem. And it's almost like the most important person in their life is having issues and they weren't there to protect them from it. And now that they have the opportunity to offer solutions, that's all they want to do. What men and women need to understand is the way that we're wired. So women wanting to talk about things and men wanting to fix things. And then we have to allow for the opposite to be done. So men, we need to remember that your partner just wants to feel connected and vent to you, and she's not looking for you to solve the problem unless she's outwardly asking you to solve the problem. If she's not asking you for that, you just need to listen, and it's actually a lot less work for you. So you just need to listen, you just need to be an ear, you just need to show support by listening and caring for her and being a safe space for her to talk about things. And women, we can do a better job of saying outwardly, "Listen, honey, I'm not looking for you to solve any issues. I just want to tell you about my crappy day. I just would love for you to listen to me for a bit." That way you're kind of reminding each other what you guys need and what's happening. So that's a little bit about Mr. Fix-It. Now let's move over to the Home Improvement Committee. So the first quote that is highlighted in this section is, "A woman's sense of self is defined through her feelings and the quality of her relationships." So we kind of spoke a little bit about that earlier, how she is about relationships, she is about communication, having harmony, empathy, care. That is generally how a woman feels and what she values. And here is where it gets tricky. One of the lines in the book says, "A sign of great love is to offer help and assistance to another Venusian without being asked, because proving one's competence is not as important to a Venusian. Offering help is not as offensive, and needing help is not a sign of weakness. A man, however, may feel offended because when a woman offers advice, he doesn't feel she trusts his ability to do it himself." So women want to help women. We want to give advice. "Oh, you should do this for that. Oh, girl, you need to do this for that, or this business, or that boyfriend, or whatever." Women want to just talk, and we all "What do you think I should do? What do you think I should do?" That's how most women are. However, men, that is a sign of, "You didn't think I knew the answer to that," or "You didn't think I could find that parking spot," or "I knew I exited the wrong exit." Men don't want to feel like their partner doesn't trust their ability to get things done on their own, because their number one job, they feel, is to fix things and solve problems. So when a woman just casually wants to offer her help, like, oh babe, I saw a parking spot on the second row over, literally telling a man she thinks that he can't find a parking spot on his own, then the man feels a little less than. The man's great sense of self is not really there. There's a little bit of tension. Like, it's just little things like this that if we understood about the opposite sex, we'd be able to shift our natural way of being for a woman to a woman and a man to a man, and figure out how to best make the other person feel in your partnership. Another reason why women don't notice this is because if my friend was sitting in the car with me and she said, oh, there's a spot on the other side, I'd be like, thank you, let's go. You know, you're helping me. I appreciate your help. I want your help. I feel supported and loved that you're helping me. That's why women do these things. It's because we treat people the way we want to be treated. So sometimes that's great, and sometimes that doesn't work out for the best because we are treating men maybe the way we as women want to be treated, and we're not the same sex. So let's go over the two most common mistakes we make in relationships. Is a man tries to change a woman's feelings when she's upset by trying to solve the problems, but that in turn makes her feel invalidated. Her feelings aren't being heard, her needs aren't being met. She doesn't feel a connection, she feels you're just like not hearing what I'm saying. And that creates distance. And then a woman tries to change a man's behavior when he makes mistakes by becoming the home improvement committee or offering unsolicited advice or criticism, which we know what happens when that happens. The guy feels like he's not trusted, he doesn't feel like the man, he doesn't feel like his partner thinks that he can handle everything, and that's what they want to feel. And so he goes on to say in the book that it's not necessarily that these two mistakes are so terrible. They're not terrible mistakes. What's wrong with them is the timing and approach. For example, a woman loves to have her man help her solve problems, just not when she's venting about them. She needs to be heard at that point. She's not ready to hear the solutions yet. She needs to vent them out, get them out, communicate. And then later on, maybe the next day, maybe a few hours later, she's ready to hear what she could do to make things better. The guy, great job for trying to help your partner, just not the right timing and approach. And then for men like the home improvement committee as long as he asked for it. If it's not been requested, it is not good, or else it makes them feel controlled. So basically the bottom line is, if ever we are feeling resistance to our partner, if we're feeling like, there's some tension, take a look at your timing and approach. And it's kind of like this vicious circle where if the guy is trying to give his wife solutions to her problems, but she's not listening to them, it's almost like circle of, she doesn't think I could solve her problems. I don't really feel like listening to this. Like, she doesn't trust me. So it's, these things have to be literally outwardly communicated so that everything's out in the open. Like, listen, I appreciate you. I know that you'll be able to give me solutions to this later, but first I just want to tell you everything that happened. Done. Like, super simple. It's just communication. Just have to get out there and say things how they are. And then same thing for the women. When a woman is trying to give you unsolicited advice, but in her mind she's trying to help you, and you're ignoring her and then being like, having some tension with her, she feels like, am I speaking to nobody, to a wall? Like, do my words not matter? My needs aren't being met? And like, then she, has some distance created. I hope this makes sense to you, but this was a huge learning for me when I found out about the home improvement committee. Us women, we do it all the time. And if you start picking up on when you're doing it to your girlfriends or when you're doing it to your partner, you're gonna be like, whoa, like, what have I been unconsciously saying and doing? You know what I mean? So I thought that this was a great little first video into digging into this book and just digging into relationships in general. The last couple sentences of this chapter, he suggests that women, we try not to give any unsolicited advice, just let the chips fall where they may. And for men, he suggests that whenever a woman is speaking to you, just listen to what she is saying for the sole purpose of understanding. You want to understand how she's feeling. No problem solving, listen. You need to listen. I need to stop quoting so many shows and movies. And I think both men and women will be very surprised as to how they feel appreciated and loved and connected when both men and women stop doing the things that they don't need to do to each other. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you loved it and hope you learned something new today. Don't forget to hit that like button if you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and hit the bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. All that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye.